All right.
Oh, you're even going comedic.
Oh yeah, I'm going on. We're going
I like your style. Like the laid back,
real casual this week.
real casual.
You know, you got in my head a bit last week. Oh shit! Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, you got in my head last week where I was up on that pedestal and looking down at you like it was some sort of, that prick job that I was telling you the story about.
I'm not used to looking up at. It's usually an eye level, Pete.
Yeah, this is way better. This is more like a real hang in the Dutch Hall.
Yeah.
On a Thursday, which it should be.
Yeah.
Watch the Leafs lose a little bit, and then get into a little bit of a bullshit talk.
And is it not comfy?
Yeah, I like it. It seems normal. Last week, if you listen to the show last week, I'm up on that stool. I'm up high. Everything's tight. And you listen to my voice, and I'm like gasping for air the whole time.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I think it was just...
The altitude, eh?
The altitude. Yeah. I was up too high. I get down on the couch. Plus, I was feeling restless today, so I had to rearrange the place again. I do rearrange this place a lot, eh?
I'd say in the last few months, you're at a record pace.
Had a few looks.
Yeah, it's had a few looks. I'm searching for something.
And you probably come across a few hidden gems every now and then rearranging.
Yeah, you're like, this I like. This one I don't like. I find some every time where I'm like, and then... the bar bugged me, so I was like, where am I going to put it? I haven't put it there yet, so I did a little rearranging in the corner.
Which, I give you credit for being able to do it. Like all the stuff, like the media equipment in here, would not be easy to rearrange a shed like you are with the amount of cords and...
Yeah, it's a little bit of a spider web that I created, and but I do.
You know where everything is, though.
I do know where everything is. I really do. It's like this place is kind of like my brain. Like it's like scattered with a bunch of shit, but it's absolutely organized.
Organized chaos.
Yeah, I wanted to take a day off, so I took a day off, and I ended up like rearranging my whole storage room. And then my wife's like, "How's that a day off?" And then I'm like, "But I didn't have to think. Like I just
Just do.
Yeah, you just I was just like cleaning up and getting stuff sorted, and it made me feel better just to have things kind of.
Isn't it the best feeling ever? Like I love. Yeah. That's probably the top 5 funnest parts of my year is organizing the farm back to. Shut doors and locked doors, and
I do like it. I do like putting everything in its place, and then you're like, because I moved my kids out of their schools, and then you put all their shit back in your house, and you're like, how is this gonna fit? Like all this stuff.
What's that like?
And then it just
I know the feeling of being the student and bringing my shit home.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's like hearing of as the parent.
I don't know. It's just a thing you do.
No, but is it annoying?
No, it's just like part of it. Part
of the gig.
Yeah, I don't let myself be annoyed by anything that I have to do for my kids because it's just I signed up for this. I knew.
I like your outlook on that.
Yeah, because I can't. It's not really fair to the kids to but sometimes if you wanted to be totally honest, it's not that it's not something I look forward to. That's for sure.
I always
something else you'd rather do.
Yeah, I don't want to be being a pack mule for my kids and stuff all the time, but I'll do it. That's what I tell my kids. I don't know if it's right that I tell them this, but I tell them I'll just do anything for you. I don't. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
You could. I can pretend to be tough and make you earn something or whatever, but I'm gonna do anything you ask me to forever.
Yep.
I just can't say no to my kids.
Nope.
Especially
which is why you love them so much.
Yeah, if they need you, then you just do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I want to tell this show tonight that we're going to do. It's one aspect of hanging out with people in the Dutch Hall that I like the most is when we discuss hypothetical questions that have no reason to be discussed.
Oh, I like this segment.
There's no reason to...
this is right down my alley.
Yeah, to talk about any of this thing. These are all subject matters that require no one to talk about, but I totally enjoy talking about this stuff. My wife finds these things to be colossal waste of time.
So it's 100% opinionated, and that is it.
Yeah, and there's no real difference you're making.
Right.
Nothing. It's not unlike the things that you talk about when we're talking about important things.
Yeah, it's like a
You
day
know?
to day.
Like we could talk about Russia and Ukraine and all that stuff and try to like pontificate on how to make the world a better place, or we could talk about like
Useless facts.
yeah, useless apps. You'll see when this show gets going, but before we can get the show going, we always have to do the thing.
The thing.
And then we can't do the show until we do the thing, Kevin. So do the thing.
Ba-dow.
Oh, it's not working? The marsh paw?
No more spot. It says it's playing, but I don't hear it.
Oh, I get it. You have to go up. I know what to do. So, hey, how about you guys chat for a bit? Oh, actually, how about you guys chat?
Yeah.
Actually, I have a movable mic. I just have to take my headphones off. This is real easy. You just have to go up into... I forgot. Sound. And you go this one. And then you can do the thing, Kev. I think you can do the thing.
I'll try
Check
now.
if that thing works now.
Yep.
There it is.
New setup.
Some engineer you got.
Poor trainer.
Hey.
What a crowd. What a crowd.
That is one heck of a woman right there.
Hot crowd. That lady is our favorite audience member.
She's horny.
We are here in the Dutch Hall in Pine Grove on a Thursday night. Everything feels right in the world. And tonight, we are joined by the all-stars of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, running the board, the man who who eventually got the music going, Kevin Fingers Van Dungeon, everyone.
Hey, donger.
And sitting down in the red chair where he belongs,
That's right.
ladies and gentlemen, he's back again. Derek the Beaver Van Houten, everyone.
He loves you. He loves you.
does.
He is crazy.
That's enough.
And me, I'm your host and two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke. Wow. What a hot crowd.
He's going to have a sore throat.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get right into it. Hypotheticals, guys. I'm going to just start getting right into it.
I like it.
How about that? I want to know, fellas, if you were, if Jurassic Park were real,
Oh, I like the start of this.
okay, so there's a park where you can see real live dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Would you go? It's like an island, right?
Yeah.
Would you go to that island? Would you-
Fucking right.
yeah, you'd see
I
real
would-
dinosaurs.
I would go. I may not bring my kid. I would go, though. I'd bring, like,
You got to sign a waiver saying that the dinosaur could eat you, right?
At my age, I'd go for sure.
Yeah. It'd be like that would be one of the selling features of it. is
Yeah.
that there's a chance I could get eaten.
Yeah.
This is all.
I don't want to be eaten in the ocean for some reason, but I wouldn't mind a T-Rex chomping down.
Man.
It's over quick.
I think, okay. And then at the park, which dinosaur would you be most worried about?
Oh.
Raptor, for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know. Like, I liked dinosaurs when I was a kid, and there was T-Rex, there was like the Brontosaurus, the Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
There,
Megasaurus.
there's like a pterodactyl. But it wasn't until Jurassic Park that you knew about the raptor.
Yeah, you're right.
And then that raptor seemed way worse than all of them, right?
All of them. They're real agile by the looks of it.
Yeah, those ones are a problem, you know.
Cranky.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to be afraid of the raptor
Little
the most.
pack runners, too.
But the T-Rex is no joke.
No, but a T-Rex seems like it's like running away from an elephant. It could go real bad, but there's a chance to get away.
They got those short arms.
Yeah, he can't pick you up. He's gonna have to just pick you up with his mouth.
Kick you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
you know what would be a horrible way to die is getting slowly stepped on by a brontosaurus.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
You'd be a pancake, and people would be like, it'd be cool to say
And it
you
did
got ripped apart by a T-Rex. Not so cool to say you got slowly crushed by a...
And it happened in the movie.
Did it?
The very first one, the fucking what's the actor's name?
Jeff Goldblum?
Newman?
Yes, he
yeah.
got stepped on.
Really?
I think it was by the T-Rex though, but he did get stepped on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't remember that.
I think you'd want it like the movies. You'd want it to be raining a lot, so that you could hopefully sink in.
Survive the squish?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're here in one of the greatest, I would say, entertainment drinking places in entertainment history, the Dutch
Absolutely.
Hall,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
You got to put us up there. We got more episodes of the Dutch Hall than Cheers, you know?
Shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we do.
You're putting stats like that out.
More than Happy Days. Not that Happy Days is a bar, but they had Arnold's.
Yeah,
I
that
guess.
malt shop.
Yeah, Arnold's. And then, but I'll tell you, of all the bars, so you think about like Cheers, you think about Moe's, you think about the Clam from Family Guy.
Yep.
Yeah, you think about, of all the TV bars that existed, which one would you most like to go have a drink at?
Archie Bunker's place.
He had a bar?
Yeah. In the later episodes.
Oh, yeah?
Club 54.
Ooh, good pick.
Club 54?
Oh yeah.
Is that in a movie, or that because it's in a movie you can count that one? I'm talking fictional, you know, like a place that's not real, like the...
Cheers is real.
Yeah, but not real.
No, I know it's not Cheers. It's like a real bar though.
Yeah, but it's not the bar in the TV show,
You're right.
right?
Yeah, that's a bar, isn't it?
That's a set.
That's
Oh,
a set, though. The real Cheers is in a basement like that, but it's super small.
Oh,
And
okay.
then they have another one that they made just for the tourists. And that one's nothing like the real one.
I think
Maybe a nice Melville's for dinner and then down to Cheers.
Oh, Melville's for dinner and then down to Cheers. Yeah.
Chowder. Have some chowder.
And then I'd start my day off at the bar at, and this may sound a little gay, but at the Friends bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because your chances of picking up to continue the night on.
Ooh.
How about this one? The Always Sunny in Philadelphia bar,
Yeah.
Patty's, because it's a total dive bar, and you know you're having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Because Danny DeVito's there, and he's very entertaining. I could just watch Danny DeVito eat a apple or something, you know, and be thoroughly entertained.
And he's almost little.
I'd want to have breakfast at Seinfeld bar
Oh.
Oh, at
Restaurant.
the restaurant?
restaurant.
Yeah, that's a good spot. I love places like that.
Yeah, maybe go for some soup at that crazy Slovakian place off that show too.
The Soup Nazi?
Soup Nazi.
Yep.
That is
No
a real
soup for
guy.
you.
That is a real place you can go, I think. It was at one time.
That's a good question. I like these questions, B. You're on a good roll.
Okay. What animal would be the cutest if it was the size of a hamster? So you take all the animals in the world and you make them the size of a hamster. Which animal would you think is the cutest, shrunken down to the size of a hamster? I think it might be...
Elephant.
An
Yeah.
elephant's pretty cute, the size of a hamster. A little tiny
Yeah.
elephant walking around.
Blue whale.
What about a hippopotamus?
Imagine a blue
A
whale.
hippo, yeah, with the tail just going
that'd be
crazy.
cool.
A little tiny hippo? That would be fun. That'd be cute.
I'm going to say a blue whale, but you can put them in an aquarium.
Like the size of a little goldfish.
Yep.
Maybe like a little manatee like that would be cute too.
Yeah, or killer whale.
Yeah. It would be such a killer. You could just like fucking,
Flip them over.
just slap it and stuff. You could just pick it up with your hand and take it out of the water and it's not such a killer anymore, right?
Great white shark that size. Just pick them up and throw them in the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Another goal against the old. The Leafs are not going to be winning this one tonight.
Not getting lit up.
What about if you took like something like a lion
I was thinking on
and you made a lion that size, you know? But it would be an asshole, you know? It'd still be a lion, right?
Well, and you're on the verge of a cat, right? I know you said hamster, but you're working your way to a cat, which is already small.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like there already is a small lion. It's a called a cat.
Yeah,
you know?
I really don't. I'm not a cat fan.
What about a silverback gorilla?
Oh, make a little tiny silverback gorilla?
That would be cool. No, that wouldn't be cute. It'd be cool.
That would be cool.
He'd
Put
punch
it in
you
your
the-
pocket.
Yeah.
You could let him out, and he could punch people in the. I don't know. Shit.
You wouldn't be able to put them in your pocket because he'd probably punch you in the dick.
No, they're pretty. I think silver. The gorillas are nice, but the
Silverbacks are bad.
Yeah, you get a silver.
And also the bamboos are bad too.
What?
Bamboo, like you're talking monkey, so I'm saying bamboos are bad.
Are they
Oh, baboon.
Baboons, sorry. Bleh.
A baboon, yeah. Baboons are ugly too,
Yeah, they'll rip you apart.
and their ass like is
They have a
unnerving.
tiny little red ass.
Yeah, I don't like that. The red ass, it's gross. I watched. We went to African lion safari, and those baboons just bang and throw shit, and like
Man, I heard that
they're everywhere too.
like monkeys. I heard that they like it's the culture is opposite. Like the females are force the males to fuck.
Really?
Yeah, I watched a show on it.
They don't. They don't want to.
They no because there's a majority of females, so then they'll like beat the shit out of a male if he doesn't fuck.
I gotta be honest. I wouldn't mind if our culture went that way.
Where there's mostly females.
But then they'll kill.
No, we just got forced to fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wish we got forced to fuck too. I wish I got forced against my will to fuck every day.
Oh, here's a useless question. You ever heard of a man that's been raped by a woman?
Yeah.
By a woman?
Have I ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard of it. I've heard tell of it. I heard about these pussies getting bossed. No, I've heard about women abusing their husbands and like women like being. Thing about women is they're really smart, like compared to us, so they can manipulate. Us. And then you next thing you know, like you're doing stuff in a million years you never think you would do. You see some of the clothes I wear, man. It's just because my wife picks them out or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. You think this looks good, and I'm thinking the whole time this doesn't look good.
Man, my wife went to Toronto yesterday with my sister-in-law. They go every year for their birthday. They went shopping, and she bought me shit. I'm like,
a
couple shirts and a pair of pants and a pair of shorts. Like, I'm like, I didn't ask for any of this shit.
Yeah.
But she thought you needed it.
Well, her theory
Probably nicer than what you'd pick out, though.
Yes, her theory is I have to look at you.
Plus,
Yeah.
would you have even went and bought it for yourself?
No, I still own clothes from 2008 that I wear on a regular basis.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, I have T-shirts that I wear that I think are fairly recently new, and then I do the math on when I bought them, and it's 15, 20 years ago.
You look
know?
at a Christmas picture from 2007, and you're like,
same
"Oh
shirt.
shit, I got that
Yeah.
shirt." So
Yeah, I have a lot of my clothes are older,
But
are
but
super
like we were
old.
talking about it, is the styles keep coming back.
it's true.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I like to go to thrift shops and buy stuff that was either never in style or like. I like to have like timeless like things that are just like always look cool, you know, but they're not to me, you know, like I like them.
Hey, do you think the fish?
90% of the time, my wife doesn't like those same things. Yeah.
Do you think that fishnet tank top will ever come back? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, a nice mesh
Yes.
tank top.
Yeah.
Nice see-through mesh tank top.
Looks like a fisher's net.
Oh yeah, my good buddy was wearing one of those when he made out with his babysitter.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Tells that story all the time.
that's quite the scenario.
And I have to picture him wearing this mesh tank top. I wish I could tell you.
I thought you were talking about females wearing them, but you're
No, it was a
Oh, those
dude.
guys.
Dude.
And it worked for him too, right? Like
Oh, I thought that was in.
12-year-old man tits in a camouflage mesh tank top. Anyways, but he's still like, that's still one of my favorite stories of all time, and he hates when I tell it. That's why I can't tell you who it is. But after the show, I'll tell you who it
Okay.
is. Because it's one of my favorite stories. I'll tell you in perfect detail, and he hates when I tell it because I take such pleasure in it.
and you're probably by the time now you've made the story very well said.
Yeah, and maybe I don't even know if it resembles any piece of the truth anymore.
You've manicured it so good.
Yeah, but it's the memory that we've created, which is sometimes way better. If you were, let's say you guys were like just for one day, you were allowed to be a woman. You were a woman for the whole day.
Yeah.
How would you spend your day?
I'd be complaining about stuff and being cold Oh, this is fantasy.
No, you can do whatever you want.
Oh,
Do whatever you want.
You're just saying you'd just be like every other one.
So you're painting yourself like if it was a movie, and you all of a sudden got, you know how they do that? You got
Yeah.
switched.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God, where is it? What happened to my
And
penis?
then they're emotional and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just shove stuff in my vagina. Like I would just test the limits of what you can do with it.
What, you can do it?
Yeah. Because I got it for a day. So, like, I can't wreck it really. Like,
yeah.
That next day, that woman, whoever's body you took over, she'd have one hell of a fucking
yeah, she'd be so sore. She'd be like, what? She'd still be finding, like, grapes in there and stuff. And she's like, what is this?
Wake up with a massive infection in her puss.
Oh, yeah. I'd be shoving everything in there. Like, seeing, like, what could I fit, and just everything I saw around the house. It'd just be like, bitch, that fits.
The last thing I do at the end of the day is I'd shave my head.
Really?
Just to piss the woman's body off.
Who gets it back?
Yeah. Is that the scenario, or is it just...
I imagine the woman would get her body back.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe you're just switched to a woman the next day you're a man.
Oh,
again.
okay.
And then it's just a disposable vagina. Like, you just get it.
You get your penis
Just
back?
falls off.
Yeah. I wouldn't go out in public, that's for sure.
No, I'd probably just lay in bed all day.
Because I wouldn't want, like, to deal with what women have to deal with dealing with men.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be awful.
I'll tell you right now, they wouldn't want to deal with the stress we have to deal with, though.
What's that?
Well, when you compare, because often men get compared to women, right? And like when you look at it, like men have to deal with a lot of shit in life that women don't, and vice versa. But what I'm getting at is my women are with.
I'm letting you drown, man.
I know.
It's like
What I'm saying is okay.
I think we're built differently.
Okay, yes, and your love for your wife is unconditional, correct?
yeah. Kind of.
Your love for your kids is unconditional, correct?
Yes, I agree with that one. I think it's very conditional for your wife.
But the love that if you brought nothing to the table in life,
Yeah.
where would your relationship be with your wife?
What do you mean? I bring nothing to the table?
Zero. Like as if you were borderline, if you had 10 cents in your pocket, you were a bum.
Yeah, I didn't help with the kids.
Right.
Like, I didn't do anything.
You-
didn't cook, didn't clean.
Your
Didn't,
family would be gone.
yeah. Yeah.
It's the unconditional. They can't say it like we can. We have unconditional love for our family. They can't say it otherwise because the way
we
I
still
look
have
at
to fulfill responsibilities.
Yes.
But so does the woman, though, don't you think? Don't you think your wife has to fulfill responsibilities?
not to the degree that I think I do. If I just gave up, I think my family would be like, yeah, we're going to have to change something here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard. It's hard to say, because like I don't know. I don't know about that one. I just know that like if my kids kick a baby, let's say my teenage daughter is like, I find out that she's going into grocery stores and kicking babies, right? Mm-hmm. And I find out because she's at the police station and for kicking babies, and then I go to the police station and I'm like, what were you thinking,
Right.
And then the kid, because you ask what were you thinking, they'll tell you what their side of the story, Mm-hmm. And because I have unconditional love for my kid, I would be like, oh, yeah, that baby seems like an asshole. Maybe that baby shouldn't start something and it can't finish, Maybe next time it will look
Right. Whereas if you kicked a baby,
my wife would leave me immediately.
Right.
She would take the kids away from that baby kicking maniac.
yeah,
That's not unconditional love.
no,
That's what I'm saying.
that's what I'm getting at.
Very
I almost did drown there, but that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I may have portrayed it the wrong way.
Yeah. You're kind of making it look like men do more than women, which is the funny part because that might get us some letters.
Yeah, it might get us some letters.
Yeah. Even talking about kicking babies could get us some letters. Yeah, they're real sensitive about like harming babies, eh?
Yeah, well.
You can't even make a simple story where you take a baby and you put it in a bucket full of water.
They can't even hold their heads up when they're born.
Yeah. That's just because the baby that you made up died.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I assume that they.
Man, you can't do nothing. Man, I watched a lady. She was trying to teach a baby how to swim. Like that's what they're trying to do these days. Like make them float. Like not baby,
Throw it in
but
the pool.
Oh, you just that girl's tits behind the penalty. Okay, sorry.
They're out?
Yeah, they're out again.
Oh, good.
like this lady, she literally took like an 8-month-old kid and just tossed it in the water, and the baby was like floating upside down, like with his face just out of the water, right?
Yeah.
And the lifeguard literally threw the baby in and then jumped in, and the backlash online was fucking massive.
Isn't that how you do it?
But like she was trying to like teach the baby how to like these are scenarios in life, like if, in a tub, if the water,
Yeah. You don't drown right away either.
No.
Like, I think that it'd be fine, but you'll get shit online for everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. If you click the wrong button online, you get shit.
Yeah, like that's a funny thing. Is like the only time you can really. That's why people that listen to this program, you get to hear us say terrible, terrible things that if anyone gave a shit about us,
Right.
we would be in huge trouble.
Huge trouble.
But because no one does, we can say all this stuff, and it's great.
And it's a matter of opinion.
Well, it's just that there are people that are going to be offended at anything.
Yeah.
And there are people that are going to be like there are people that are going to like horrible shit,
Yeah.
and there are people that are going to be like offended by horrible shit, and probably neither one is like right, like
Yeah, but I think the people that are offended yell louder.
yeah, and there's a policy
Yes.
for people now that if two people or even one person is loudly complaining about something or tweeting something or whatever, then that's enough to change behavior. It's like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, if you're any good at what you do, seriously, if you're any good at what you do or you have any balls whatsoever, no matter what field you're in, you're going to be disliked by people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're going to, and I would rather, there's a famous quote saying you'd rather be judged by the enemies you have, like, because you can see the people who are against you,
Yeah.
and you see what kind of people they are, and you're like, oh well, like that's a pretty good list to have against me,
Yeah.
like most of the time you're not going to be too upset about that list,
Right.
Yeah.
because they're not your kind of people either.
Not one of them.
Yeah. So I mean, trying to please everybody is the worst thing you can do, because you're just going to give up everything that makes you cool.
Or happy.
Yeah, or unique, anything.
Uh-oh.
This is a. All right, let's say you guys were all pirates, right? You're all pirates.
I like this one. This cool one. Yeah. This scenario.
You're like, you got to come up with a cool pirate name, in order that people will fear you.
Oh, fear.
Well, you got to be. That's what I think. I threw that in.
And it's got to be aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, I would want to instill fear into my people. So I want to have a name that's at least somewhat intimidating, But I'll give you guys time to think about your pirate names. I would go with probably, I don't even know if there is a pirate by this name, but I'd go with Black Pete.
Ooh.
It's just Black Pete,
Just look kind of like Blackbeard.
Yeah, but Black Pete. And then they'd think I was black. Because
Meanwhile, you're white.
but I'm white, and then they'd see me, and then I would be like, "Why do they call him Black Pete?"
You don't
And
want to
they
see
go-
him when he's dark.
Because his heart is black as,
Yeah.
he's like evil,
Yeah.
and he's shows no mercy on your souls. I'd want to really build up the like legend of Black Pete, how evil I am, so that I don't actually have to do anything evil. That I just have to show up on their ship, and they'd be so scared to death of what
Yeah.
kind of horrors I'd
I was
cause.
thinking something along the lines of like Derek Van Doom.
Ooh, Van
that's good.
Doom.
Van Doom.
That,
Derek Van Doom.
that van is good in there.
Yeah.
It just keeps it ringing.
Was there Dutch pirates?
I don't know.
I never heard any Dutch.
That's
pirates.
where it's tough to throw. Like it. Yeah. Like it's tough to. Like Jack Sparrow is a fucking 2 words, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Flying Dutchman. That was the name of a boat.
Yeah,
right?
that's the name of the boat,
Yeah.
but there was a British boat, wasn't it not?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you think like Captain Pickle Dick is intimidating?
Oh, Captain Pickledick is not intimidating.
No, that's like a that you almost think there's a.
But it's a cool name.
It's a cool name, but you almost think there's a question mark at the end of it.
Captain Pickledick?
Yeah,
What the fuck is this guy about?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. So, wait, I have to check to see. Okay, this one's stupid. But if you were a vampire and you had no reflection, how do you do your hair?
And they always have good hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't take a picture of yourself either.
Slick it.
Yeah, you can't take a picture.
'Cause you're not,
I would do my hair just like I do it now. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would be a messy-haired vampire. Or you just comb it right back.
They always seem to have it slicked back. Right?
Slick back. I think it's just a universal hairdo.
For vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just comb it straight back because you can't see, right?
I'd get a
But it's always moist. Like they always got a shine to it.
I'd get somebody to give me a permanent and be a different kind of vampire. Nice 1980s curly hair, curly short hair.
Curly short hair.
Yeah. Pube head.
Pew head?
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm on the verge of that.
You'd make a hell of a vampire.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of that at all times.
Okay, if you were to release your own fragrance, what would it smell like and what would you call it? So you're releasing a fragrance like Drake or Britney.
I'd have definitely it'd smell kind of like vanilla because I love that smell.
Oh, yeah? Vanilla.
Vanilla, like
You got to put some cigarettes in there, man.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, but I'd call-
Vanilla and flue-cured tobacco.
Yeah.
I love that smell.
No, got it. Okay, the smell of a kill yard in the middle of harvest.
Yeah, so far they have not been able to
They
recreate
can't.
it.
I know what the fuck.
Yeah.
Kev, if you've been in the middle of a kill yard in Tips, man, it's like you could if you feel like you could eat whatever that smell is. But
It's a wonderful smell.
I like this.
Honestly, if you could get a perfume or a cologne or something that smelled like that, I would definitely wear it.
I would wear it tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
That sweet smell of it cured is nice too.
Yeah, that's what it really is.
Like I almost wanted to get. I would love if a fragrance person would come to the farm during that time of year.
Have some sort of meter.
Some sort of fucking. What is that smell? And can you replicate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need a smellometer.
I think you just like what.
But it's got to
Or-
be like around
or
like
a
6,
smellometer.
7 o'clock at night. Hey Pete,
Yeah.
it's always a little better at night when it's a little more moist out,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
a little
Yeah.
more humid.
I don't know.
I was originally thinking like leather would be in the smell, but
Yeah, it's hard.
a nice hockey bag,
I don't even know how to describe
midweek,
it.
sweaty leather gloves.
Yeah. If it was my smell,
Oh,
it would probably be weed and PO.
weed and bo.
That's the real smell of me.
Oh,
But I don't know if people would buy it. And you just call it, probably call it,
Pete's bod.
Pete's musk.
yeah, I'd probably just call it musk. Like, yeah, just musk. Just called the musk. I call it the musk.
Yeah, you gotta throw a the in there.
Yeah, the musk.
It's mysterious.
You actually, that sounds like a fucking thing.
The musk, and it's just weed and
No, you got to work. I think you got to work on that part of it. but I think the name you just as a fragrance,
the musk.
I really think that needs to be educated.
I would put on anything that says musk. I would be like, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I think it's manly, but I don't wear fragrances.
No, I don't either.
I just use a bar of soap.
Maybe the scent of like a running shoe that had not had socks.
That would be you.
Yeah, and heavily used.
Heavily used.
Yeah,
An old foot.
yeah. Doritos.
Doritos, Cool Ranch.
Some Doritos and maybe I don't know. Some leather.
Like a gimp. You'd be like,
A smell of a ball gag.
yeah, the nice smell
And
of.
a zippered leathered mask.
Oh, he skated right into the goalie and then
the worm.
what an idiot. All right. So we got our Musk. 7 dwarfs. Which one are you? Sleepy, grumpy, happy, sneezy, dopey, bashful, or Doc?
I'd say happy.
Really? What about you, Kev?
Dopey.
Or Doc is the grumpy one, isn't he, though?
No, grumpy would be the grumpy.
No, but I thought Doc... Doc was like the leader, wasn't he?
Doc's like the smart guy.
Yeah. I'd say happy.
How about you? You're picking.
I wish I wasn't grumpy, but I would probably be grumpy.
I watched on fucking that Steve Harvey show, Family Feud.
Yeah.
He used that question of how would you describe your wife in bed if you were to describe her as a fucking
Dwarf. One of the 7 dwarfs.
one of the 7 dwarfs, and the 2 dudes are like, nope, not doing it. I'm not hitting the fucking button.
What?
Yeah. On Family Feud, he asked a question, and these 2 dudes were standing there, and their family's sitting behind. So odds are, like, the wife and shit. And he goes, if you had to describe your wife in bed using a dwarf, one of the 7 dwarfs' names,
Right.
which one would it be?
Oh.
And both dudes were like, nope,
No, I'm not doing it.
not doing it.
Went for it. It said sleepy or something like that, just to.
Yeah, or happy, and then you let your
Yeah, you
fucking
say happy.
You say let your spouses all fucking take.
Yeah, throw them under the bus.
Or dopey.
You can't say dopey about the woman; she'll get mad. You could say Doc about the woman saying because she's so fucking smart on how she lets me put my penis in her. And then bashful. You could call a girl bashful. You're not going to be.
I think they right away were going along lines of like grumpy and sleepy. Like you wouldn't want to use that.
Yeah, and dopey. And then as soon as you say that, then it's like, ooh, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
And then,
No, you didn't.
but the all of those questions on Steve Harvey's Family Feud are just like totally set up for the
guy to be
double entendre and stuff.
Well, yeah, because
like,
he's also created his own stigma on that show too. Of
where he does the look at the end.
yeah.
Where like I know it's kind of like it's contrived now. I think it was at first when when I was fooled by it, I didn't mind it, and then now that I caught onto the trick, I'm
Right.
like, you guys
Now
are
they're just trying to grab audience.
like of all the name something that you'd find between your legs,
You're right.
you know?
Yeah.
Like God damn it.
Everything's and they're all designed to make the guy look like a buffoon too.
Yeah.
Right.
That's everything now. We're allowed to be the buffoon.
A maroon.
And I think guys in general though are willing to accept that too. Like back in the day, that would be now I'm disrespected and all that shit.
Yeah.
Now we don't give a fuck.
Now women are disrespected if they feel that way. If they're used to be like Lucille Ball, like she was like her husband had his shit together, and she was the kind of like
Loopy one.
the loopy one that was like irrational, and that's where the humor came from.
Yeah.
And now you can't find a show like that on TV.
Mad Men was the last one where you would hear like the girls on Mad Men. They'd be like, "I'm just a stupid woman." And you're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Mad Men was a kick-ass show.
I liked it.
Okay, well that's the next question. If you could go back to any era to live in the past, like if you can't be born when you're born, when would you want to be born?
God damn.
But in the past.
It's a tough one.
Well, it also depends. Like, 'cause
And it's you.
and it's you. So every situation, it all depends on what situation you're in. Like, are you in a Mad Men scenario, or are you who you are today? That profession.
You're the exact same person, but you're born in a different time.
Oh fuck! I would want to be born last year because my job would fucking suck.
Yeah, but you get paid like if you were a tobacco farmer in the 70s.
Sorry.
So
I go back 10 years.
10 to like
2010, man.
yeah. So you don't.
It was some good years there, and in the 90s too. We're good.
Yeah, but in the 70s, you could grow 30 acres and make like
Yeah,
a
you had
ton
to
of
work
money.
your fucking balls off by hand. There's no automation, no nothing.
Yeah, that's a point.
I agree with you, but like, what I'm saying is fuck you to work your bag off.
Yeah, but you were only. But I said like it was. You'd only be doing it. It's hard to say because you're like hand stripping and all year long stick kills.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I guess.
If I could go like that question, if I could go to any situation, like era and situation,
Because if you say 10 years ago,
Mad Men would be kick ass.
like if you said 10 years ago, you're still. So what does that mean? You're 10 years younger or older?
Oh,
during that time?
I'm today years old. 10 years ago. That's what you said, right? If you could
You go back and live any era. You just go back 10 years and do it again.
yeah.
You'd be born in 10 years earlier. Okay.
So
Because I would also is in 2011, I would have bought a fuck ton of Bitcoin
yeah. Well, no, yeah.
and bought a fuck ton of Tesla stock and bought a fuck ton of Amazon stock
Apple too.
and Apple too.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I'm
I would
thinking-
want. What do you think, Kev?
I'm thinking like born in the 50s. So you're a teenager in the late 60s.
Oh, see, we're looking at this question
Like the existing baby boomers
which
now.
I think that question you're answering it more properly. I think.
I'm just thinking
Yeah.
like the music, the good times, Woodstock, free love.
Yeah. To be able to be a
Lots of good pure drugs.
yeah, like to be a guy like you're talking about a person who like peaked in the 90s, right? Where we had AIDS and say no to drugs. Like everything was going to kill us. So we didn't get to have any fun. And you just heard about everyone before us that just was fucking and doing drugs and having a great time. Wow.
7-1.
7-1.
Who's not fucking now though?
Yeah, everyone's fucking again, right?
Everybody's fucking again. It's just
So now there's
different.
a pill.
It's just now there's
Keep you from the HIV.
Yeah, they cured AIDS. We just had full on AIDS. Don't do it or you're going to die.
well, these days they're keeping them alive.
But I think the music and everything was just so much better than that, like the era I'm talking about, like the 70s, 80s,
You know what the thing about that
late
is that
60s, 70s.
is that there was good music during that time, but there was also horrible shit music, and they just don't play that anymore.
That's true.
And the only stuff that lives is stuff that was good.
I mean, I just couldn't go to Black Sabbath concerts every week.
But like half the time you'd be going to fucking Mungo Jerry or something, like there's still
yeah.
there's still crappy bands. I think even now there's good bands, but there's just seems to be more crappy ones, or I just don't get it anymore.
Yeah. What's your pick?
What era to go back to?
Yeah, you never.
I think I'd be the same era, same thing, because the baby boomers that are alive today, they've had their entire life. The first thing that they had to deal with was the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have, because they were born. If you were born in the 40s, let's say, you're after the Great Depression, like after the war, let's say. So you're born after post 45. Then you didn't have a war, you didn't have the Depression, right? Then you had the period of most unprecedented prosperity that's ever existed in human history. No real wars to deal with, no real economic collapse to deal with, nothing like that. Little slumps, but nothing really hard to deal with.
Was there not an economic crash in the early 90s?
It was a recession, but it wasn't like devastating.
Oh, okay.
Like it wasn't like
Wasn't like 2007.
Well, even 2008 was like it was a bit of a recession and a stock market correction, but it wasn't like the depression of the 30s.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like it didn't. Like if we had a real crash, like the Dow, for example, right now is just shy of 35,000. If it crashed to like 11, everybody would be. That would be like the depression, like everyone would be like there would be a huge impact on people who had retirement savings and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And something like that or like war that comes in and like literally like all your stuff you take for granted, like your roads and your water and all the services we get, they're all bombed and stuff, and then you're stuck thinking that you had, or your money all of a sudden becomes devalued and you have nothing.
Right.
Then that would be something to deal with, you know.
They
And
didn't
like
do-
those people's parents had to deal with tons of shit, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
But like they didn't have to deal with nothing. Like I look at my parents and my wife's parents and stuff, like they really didn't have to deal with any real harm. Like they just kind of always went up for them.
Yeah,
their
you're
whole
right.
life.
some high interest rates for a few years there. And that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's all they have. That's the only ammo they have of a tougher fucking earlier years.
Yeah,
They'd pay high interest rates. Whoopty shit.
yeah, and it was only for a few years, and then
And a house was 20 grand.
yeah, and then
Well, in the 80s, the fucking property values crashed in the 80s for a bit. 82,
Yeah.
83.
property values crashed because interest rates went up
Right.
to like 22.5% at one point. That's where it peaked. But 18.5% was a pretty common interest rate.
Right.
That's the shit credit card now.
Yeah, but that would be like for like a best mortgage rate, you know, like
Yeah.
everyone's get 18.5. And like, you know, when you're paying like almost 20% interest, you're not going to you'd be able to afford as much.
Yeah, you're not getting too far.
So then a lot of those, that's why the value went out because people weren't, they're saying, I'm not going to go get $1 million mortgage now, like with 20%, you know, so then everything went to shit. But then also because of that, then people started devalue. Then what happened was like the prices of people's farms and stuff went down. And then the amount that the banks had lent them just a few years ago was more than what the value of the farm was.
Right.
So then they were at a loss position. So what they started doing is like
They wrote it off the books.
they were like, we don't want you anymore. Like
No, but you could also go to the bank and say, I can't make the payment. They're like, well, what payment can you make?
yeah, they did that too. But
Not with everybody, no?
no, well, Farm Credit did. I know that they did it with pretty much everybody,
I remember hearing family stories of fucking people like,
and the banks did too. They did write off some debt during that time, but that was in order to maintain to minimize losses. But they also like would try to get rid of you too, or try to sell
Really?
you, force a sale on your farm.
Now,
If they were in a loss position and they thought they're going to continue, their losses were going to grow, then they would force.
oh, back in the day, there was a lot of like the three of us, like odds are one or two of us would have to take cattle or farm equipment from the other person to hide it
oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
because the bank was coming to get it, and you were like, fuck, I don't got anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sold it.
Yeah.
I hated that. Once in a while you'd have to go pick up a tractor, and you'd find out that it was at somebody else's house. And
Really?
you'd go and get it, or sometimes you'd get it right from theirs.
I was gonna ask you, so that those things did happen.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's like more like Goodfellas. Fuck you, pay me.
Well, it's yours. It's your security, and you've usually spent months, if not years, going through legal channels to try to get the money.
Yeah.
And then after, when you realize that, you know, that's not going to come, then you have to go realizing your security. So you have to go get it.
Take what you can get, right?
And I thought there was people hired to do that. And eventually there was. But
like you actually had to do it.
yeah, but there was a time in my career where I had to do it. Yeah.
And like, what did you do with that shit? Like, you ain't bringing it to the FCC. You just
Yeah. There's
bring it to the dealership.
you'd bring it, you'd have a place. Yeah. Usually you bring it to the dealership. Yeah. And then, cause we can't sell it. Right.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the last thing you want to do. It's not like you want to do that. Usually, it was like most of the time when I had to take things, the guy was giving me the keys. You know, like saying I can't pay nothing. I don't know what to do. Take it. You know, like
Yeah.
most of the time.
So it's not like it's not like it was a repo scenario like on TV.
Sometimes it
stealing.
was. Sometimes it legitimately was. Thank God there was a special credit department eventually that did all that stuff, and I didn't have to do
Have
it.
to deal it.
Oh, it suck.
Because but I've had my customers who have had their stuff taken by them, but luckily I didn't have to do
They
it.
call the cops.
Yeah, you go in there and like you think the one time I did have to do it, you don't know if the people are gonna be mad at you
Yeah.
or if they're gonna if they're gonna like try to chase you out of there.
Right.
A lot of times you're just trying to go in quietly without them knowing and take the fucking tractor and leave. Yeah.
And just say, hey, bud. They call them, I'm sorry, I took it.
Hoping you don't
Yeah.
hear that click, click sound.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like, but again, and most people know because you've sent like 100 notices when
Right.
they come and do it.
Yeah.
And then, so they'll just like look out their window as you're driving down their driveway and say, I guess they're taking the tractor.
I always that's a
Who'd
yearly,
want to do that though?
that's
Like,
a yearly conversation I have with the FCC. I'm like, oh, so how's everybody else doing? Not specifically, but like in general,
as a whole, yeah.
as a whole, how's everybody? Like, is there anybody not making payments?
Yeah, I know.
I'm making payments, but
I'm so out of touch. I wouldn't even know. Like if it's good or bad. I don't know what any prices are. Nothing. Like I'm out of touch, man. I left that world. It's crazy. But like you'd think, because it was like my every day.
Right.
At one point in time, like I knew the hog price every day. Like the hog price meant so much to me.
really.
Yeah, like like I watched the hog market, and it was a big deal. I'd chart it, and now I don't even have a sniff on what the price of hogs is. Like, but that was my life. Like to know what the hog price was. I always got moved to offices where it was like really bad historical times for them.
Right.
It was like then they moved me there to that office.
To turn it around.
Was that
No, it wasn't that way. I just shit happenstance that I went there during all the bad times. Like, and I was in the hog crisis in Stratford, and I was in during the quota in the Redux program here in Simcoe, and the ginseng crash and stuff like that. Like I was there for all that stuff where banks are getting out everywhere, and then I would usually get in, and just look at people that were good, that were in a bad situation, but they're good people, that when the situation changed.
Because good people want to pay their bills.
Yeah. And then you see other people, like, it doesn't matter what the situation was. This has nothing to do with the situation. This person is the problem,
Well, I think now a lot of people try to get so big that nobody will let them fail, no matter how bad it is.
You think?
It gets so bad, the debt gets so big.
Yeah.
The debt gets so big.
Yeah. I agree.
That I could tell you, Pete, I'm going to come take this, and this. Well, guess what? Your equity then now I can't get you any value then if you take all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, but you owe me. Well, yeah, but it's too bad. I need that shit to fucking get you something.
Yeah, but if you only have the tractor loan, you can take the tractor because you don't care,
Right.
But if you had the farm too, then who cares about the tractor?
Right.
That's because you need the tractor to pay for the farm, so you got to let them have both. Yeah, it does come down to that though. It really does. Like what makes sense and what doesn't.
Right.
But if you're gonna lose, then you just got to cut your losses at some point in time. And I remember because the 80s was such a bad time that I was really afraid when I started lending money that I'd have to go collect, and I never thought I had the stomach for it, Mm-hmm. And I went up and I talked to this guy.
Legitimate concern.
And I was like, he was an old retired guy, and he'd just come back do some contract work. And I was asking him, like, how did you deal with the 80s and all that foreclosures and all that stuff? And he said, I always think about, like, I was really worried one year, and I went up, like, it was right around Christmas time, and I got to go up and get them to sign the papers to sell their family farm. It had been their family for forever. And he said, I went up to the door, all sheepish and stuff, and expecting these people to be coming at the door with a shotgun or something like that. And the guys comes to the door, and they're like all big smiles, and they ask me in. They give me, a cookie or whatever, and some coffee and stuff, and they're like, we just wanted to thank you because this is the first Christmas that we're going to have. Every Christmas we've had for recent memory has been so worried about money that we're not able to buy gifts for each other, and now we have no worries. Our farm's sold, our debts are paid. We have a nice home in town that we live in. We have a little bit of money in the bank account, and
so things just turned right around.
It feels like because a lot of times if you got something that's systemically wrong with your business that's causing you to lose money.
You're right.
And then every year it's harder because you have this huge hole you're trying to dig yourself out of. Plus, you're still got the problem that got you in that hole that you haven't addressed or you can't address. And then so you end up just going deeper and deeper until there's no way of getting out of that hole, you know. And then the only way to really get out of it is to sell the asset and like relieve yourself of the pressure, you know. And sometimes when you've been like years or a decade of worrying about money, and then you don't have to worry about money anymore, it feels like you gave the person a gift.
Yeah,
but
true.
they would fight to not make it happen. But then once it happened, they would be like, "Oh, thank God it happened."
Right.
Because like we didn't know how much stress we were living under all the time until it was gone, and then we just felt like we had a new lease on life.
Yeah.
Now we can do whatever because we have a fresh start, you know.
Just tired of fighting.
Yeah. So I kind of looked at it differently. That I wasn't like ruining people's lives when I had to do that. I was
Changing.
trying to provide them with a better life.
Yep.
You know, like,
Yeah.
this is what your life is now. This is probably where it's going to go. I mean, unless you can tangibly say something different is going to change, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you want to keep doing this or do you want to try to improve, you know?
Yeah.
And then what do you do to improve? And if some people just would never consider ever, especially farmers, you know, sell their farm, like, fuck, this is
exactly.
my grandpa's farm, you know, I'm not going to sell it. And then some people were, you know, more open to it because they were they just hated it.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, so I wasn't as bad as you'd think, but most of the time it's more how you handle it. Like, I've been in meetings where we're like foreclosing on a guy, but there's all the lenders got to go to these meetings, these farm debt mediation meetings they're called. And you go there and you negotiate, kind of like used to be the old write-off thing. So you'd say, this is what you can afford. We lost on the security. So we'll write down your debt to this or whatever. You do what's fair. So we would always go to those things with that attitude. And then the banks would come and they would just send their lawyer. They wouldn't even bring a guy like me, like a guy that actually managed the account.
Right.
They would just send their lawyer, and then the lawyer would say, "We want our money," and then we would like say, "Okay, well, this is the guy's actual situation. This is what he can do. This is what, you know. What are you able to give any concessions?"
Right.
And they're like, "My client says no," and then they're like, "Well, what the fuck are you doing here then?"
Yeah.
You know, like, you shouldn't even be here. I remember like I would actually get real angry. Like, I would argue with the banks, like saying you're
Destroying.
wasting all of our times.
Yeah. And you're destroying a family that could potentially fix this.
Yeah, the whole purpose of us having these meetings is that we look at what the stupid bank policy is, and then we look at what the reality of what the human is, and we just try to like
Mediate.
like find middle ground between the two.
But they're like, no.
No, we want all of it because they signed the paper, and this is the world. And so, okay, you're going to get none of it.
Yeah, because they can't.
Yeah,
That's why we're here. They'd love to pay you all of it if they could.
yeah. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But that's what it became. You know, they weren't always like that. It's just that the way that they got every year, they get a little bit more greedy and a little bit more, need more money, and then just get less flexible. That's the thing about today's world. It's not flexible. Like, everyone has to do everything by the rules. You get in trouble. And the thing about rules is that they're like averages.
Right.
Right? They're like set up to apply to most people,
Right.
but they never apply to all the people.
There's no human consideration anymore, right? It's just like
No.
a number.
Yeah. It's just like cookie cutter.
Does it fit? Yes.
And I never did cookie cutter because I don't find it interesting.
No.
Like, what's the challenge in cookie cutter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I like working around here because, like, you got dreamers and cowboys, you know? Or
Right.
in Norfolk County, you got, like, a bunch of guys that have to figure it out by spit or snot, you know? They're gonna figure it out. And that's what I like about it, you know? When it's boring, like, you can just, like, I always think about dairy cows. Like, you just milk them every day. You just know exactly what you're going to get. Like, it's just the same all the time. I like seasons.
Me too.
You know?
But dairy is black and white, right? It's this way or that way, and that's it.
Yeah. It's a marathon too, man. I have full respect for those guys. Don't get me wrong. Full respect.
It's just a different lifestyle.
Yeah, a different lifestyle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. I have total respect too. It's just a totally different. It's crazy how they're both. There's two sets of farming. There's like 100 sets of farming.
Yeah, it's totally different. You can, you think, but like, you could do.
But it's all farming.
Yeah, but it's not the same at all.
It's not the same at all. Whereas, like, every other industry in life is it's that what the stamping shop's doing in this plant, they're doing fucking damn near the same in the next plant.
Yeah. I've never been in a factory. Still, in my whole life, never been.
They're like little towns.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. There's a guy that can do anything for you.
Anything.
Like you want your furnace fixed? There's a guy.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, burnt DVD. You wanted a burnt DVD?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, there was always those guys.
A satellite hack. You want one of those like cards to get the free dish or whatever?
Oh yeah. If you want DishNet or whatever the fuck the American dish was, there's a guy that had the code.
Bootleg whiskey. You get a bootleg whiskey guy. There'd always be the guy selling drugs.
Selling drugs was big in my day. Big.
Yeah.
Like there was guys making more money online selling drugs than they were making online working, and they were making a lot of money working.
They used to get delivered via glove.
Huh?
Forklift operators used to deliver it via glove. They'd toss a glove.
Toss a glove?
Yep. A glove ball.
It's like prison, eh?
Well, no, and you're right. It is. And there's, not that I know what prison's like, but
Yeah.
there's also a lot of funny business that goes on with relationships.
Oh yeah.
Because you spend 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 6 with all these people, which means you spend more time with these people than you do with your wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your husband.
That's
whoever,
like every job, though.
Yeah. Or your husband, whoever we're talking about, woman or female, or male or female. And there was times where, there was marriages getting lost in the plant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And if you're a woman at a factory, you must be in heavy demand, because you're
factory 10.
Yeah. You move up a couple of points.
Kev,
for sure.
you could vouch for this. I always found that like men, like older men in factories, it was as if they've never seen a female in their life.
Oh my god! And you know what? It was worse was when it was summertime and the summer students came in.
Oh fuck!
I heard one guy say to one old dude say to a female student, "Yeah, I like to read."
Yeah,
She's like, "Good for you."
like it was crazy. Like you'd get a maintenance guy come roll up to you on his golf cart.
Never talked to before.
Did you just see her? I'm like, man, well, you've never seen a woman before?
Yeah.
And then they go park their golf cart in front of their workstation for a couple hours and just stare at them. And that was perfectly okay.
Yeah, back then.
That was even like at the Delaware warehouse when you're selling tobacco.
Oh, you didn't want to be a wife showing up. You like get whistled at.
Oh yeah, like
Cat calls.
Oh yeah.
you bring your wife in to sell, which should be a normal thing almost. You'd think, especially a lot of times they're full partners. Is that Adam Foote's kid?
I think must be.
I bring
He's behaving like Adam Foote.
I bring Julie in to sell all the time.
Yeah, I would. I think I would if I was.
She enjoys it.
I used to like it.
And the buyers like her.
Well, why wouldn't you like her? She's a nice lady.
And then like even before I met Julie, whoever I was seeing at the time, I'd bring them.
Oh, you think it helped you?
Oh, they just kind of mess with the buyers a little bit.
Is it a Dutch clock still?
No.
No.
There's no clock. It's all just like so me being the seller and say for instance Kev was the buyer, we're that far away. We're like so the bale's going in between us.
Yeah.
And Kev would put a grade on it and if I said nothing, it'd go on to the next bale. If I said, "Whoa, hold on, reject."
Oh yeah. You said, I don't agree with that grade.
Right. And then the line was like not stop, but they'd have to release it. There's a release button to release the bale, and if you said nothing, it just kept going. Or if they didn't like a bale, then they would be like, "Ooh, man, you need to take this home."
So they give it a grade that automatically equals the price.
Yeah, it automatically would go to a dedicated price to the grade.
Oh, okay. So that's different than the old system.
The old system was based on there was grades, but there was no real price, right?
Yeah, because the companies would put their own grade on it.
Yeah.
And so you would have the grade that the warehouse puts on it, and then the companies would go put their own scribble on it, and then they would give the price based on their scribble. But you didn't know what their scribble was. And this one is actually the grades are their scribbles, and you get paid what they.
Yeah.
That's nicer because at least you know what it is, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's cool. Sorry, that's just like I don't know if people at home are going to care about tobacco talk,
Oh, that's
but
interesting.
but I like it. But because it's interesting, because it's changed so much since I've been part of it. You know.
I still remember the good old warehouse days.
Yeah, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked slinging bales. It was one of those jobs that was just like it was just fun. You could drink, do a little physical work, drive a big transport truck. Super fun. Okay. 1 hour. Is it really? Okay, I got one thing that I want to say. I want to do one more. You're outside a bank when a robber runs outside. He passes you 10 grand to keep quiet. You're guaranteed no repercussions. Would you keep it?
Fucking A. Fucking A.
It says guaranteed no repercussions. I don't even know what the conversation is.
Yeah, this is your money.
No, they gave it to me. It's a gift. Like
It's kind of like that the drug dealer that crashes the plane and he hands the fucking kid fucking like a bag of money and says, "Give me your bicycle." You know the Tom Cruise movie?
I don't remember the movie, but yeah, it's 10 grand, no repercussions.
He's like fucking he's literally like head to toe in cocaine because the bags blow up, and like he's hiring a kite, and he just hands the kid like a fucking fistful of money.
I know the movie you're talking about now. Yeah.
Oh, it's the one where he's like the coke dealer?
Yeah, well, no, he's the pilot.
Oh, yeah.
All he's doing is taking coke from Colombia and bringing it to the States.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw some of that.
You? What about you?
Of course, man. I'm taking the fucking money.
Right.
That's what. Oh shit, I lost it. But it was. I like this one. No. There we go. If a turtle lost his shell, would it be homeless or naked?
Naked.
Naked. Doesn't live in his shell. It's his. It's what he.
It's his body armor.
It's his coat.
Yes.
Okay, if you could get in a time machine, would you go to the future or the past?
Future. Curiosity, man.
Yeah, I would go with future as well.
I think it'd be kick ass.
And
Or you get there and there's nothing.
Yeah, that. Oh, you did point a good picture there.
Never know.
if you could make it compulsory for players to drink alcohol before they play, what sport would be the funniest to watch drunk people play?
Football.
Yeah.
Boxing.
What about hockey?
Hockey
Yeah.
would be quite.
Who's that girl?
I don't know. She's talking to Wayno and he got kicked out.
She's the one that's been laughing at
Look
those
at-
guys yelling at each other.
He's got no front teeth.
I think I lost them from fighting.
Yeah, but they're literally all gone.
Yeah, you have no teeth and you get interviewed. It doesn't matter what you say; you're going to seem stupid.
Yeah.
Eh?
All you need is a southern accent to go with it.
Yeah, but you got no teeth. You can't look like an intellectual. You can't look like you're got your shit together.
Yeah.
That's why I would Doug Gilmore.
Yeah.
He had no teeth,
Right.
and then all of a sudden he got the implants, and then he was skating around with those big fucking white chiclets, you know.
Monster chiclets.
And then, you could get those things knocked out too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're really fucked. So I think most players regret that, getting their permanent teeth put in before their career is done.
Yeah, I think it's a bad move.
But if you're
What is bad move to?
if you get implants put in before your hockey career is done,
Oh, is that why they all leave them out?
yeah. Well, if you get them, because after their career's over, every one of these guys will get full implants,
Right.
So they're not wearing a partial anymore. But here they take it out because if they put in the implants and then play the game, those same fucking people and knock their teeth out the first time are going to knock their implants out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's even worse because you're knocking a tooth that's got a screw in the thing that's screwed in your
Jaw.
and you get that out.
Imagine that weakens the old the jaw too.
Oh yeah, that would have
Yeah.
hurt so bad.
That happened to my brother-in-law. He was in Finland playing hockey, and he had implants, and then he got checked into the boards.
Like the dasher.
Huh?
Like right into the edge, like the dasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said he sat down on the bench, and he put his hand in his mouth, and he pulled out all of his implants. Like came out the like screws and everything.
No way.
Yeah, and then they had to take a
Did
bone.
it hurt like fuck?
They had to take a bone from his hip and stick it in his gums.
Just so they had something to screw into again.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they gave him these fake teeth while it healed
Yeah.
that looked like Austin Powers teeth.
Baby.
No shit.
Yeah, it still makes me laugh. There's a picture of he was so embarrassed through that whole time too. He would never smile and stuff. Like he was so embarrassed because they gave him these shitty teeth. He was mad about it. But there's one picture where my sister runs a marathon, and then at the end it's like Ryan and the two kids went to go visit her at the finish line.
Yeah.
And if you looked at the two people in the picture, you'd swear that Ryan ran the marathon and that Lisa didn't, because Lisa's all happy and stuff, and Ryan's been taking care of the kids all day. He just looks like wore out, and he's got his big Austin Powers teeth in.
I want to find this picture.
It's in his basement.
Oh, it's not like she doesn't got to post it online, obviously.
I don't think it's posted online, but maybe it is. I don't know. But I see it in her basement. Makes me laugh every time because we would really hack on him good during those times. But I mean, like, fuck, that's like horrible.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do all that stuff. But my daughter's actually getting, because she had braces
Yep.
to correct an overbite. And I think they have to do something similar. They got to take a bone out of somewhere and move it somewhere to rebuild gums or something. I don't even know.
I know, but like it makes me like.
Yeah, like that to me is like really skeevy. It gives me the EBGBs.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're past an hour, so I just wanted to say to people that if you would like to give us a piece of feedback, you can do so at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, or you can give us a message on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you want. We are on there at either Dutch Hall, Live from the Dutch Hall, The Dutch Hall. Put in Dutch Hall, you'll find us. And you can also give comments on the YouTube videos. And if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we would really appreciate it. You can go to patreon.com/Dutch Hall and support us there. And please remember that this podcast is sponsored by our good friends at CleanFlow.
Bling.
Who have actually given us money. So we have to spend it on cool shit and do cool things. Otherwise, we're disrespecting CleanFlow. But please click on the link in our description on the episode, and you'll go and check out all their great products, and it'll tell you where you can find them in participating stores everywhere. There's CleanFlow products. If you're open to them, you'll see them everywhere.
Oh, I've seen a few.
Yeah. But CleanFlow, great sponsor. So support them. And that is it. Do you guys have anything else you want to say? Any last hypotheticals? Anything you want that's just like sticking in your craw before we leave?
I really liked how you went about the whole hypotheticals. It was really good.
It was a fun one.
Yeah.
When you're just going to ask dumb questions?
Yeah.
That's how we are.
Yeah, that's what makes me... I could do that all day. It doesn't even seem like we did anything.
Just had mics, that's all.
Yeah, who would... if you could get one artist to write a new Canadian national anthem, who would it be? We'll close with that one. It doesn't have to be Canadian either.
It's a tough one, actually.
Do they have to be alive?
No, I don't think so.
Because then I go Stompin' Tom.
Yeah.
Stompin' Tom Connor should write the Canadian
I
national
think
anthem.
that's a genuine mutual agreement by all of us, I think.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I would. If you had a Mount Rushmore of Canadian entertainers,
Yeah, I'd put John Candy.
John Candy definitely.
John Candy, definitely.
Probably Phil Hartman.
Ooh, not bad. Jim Carrey,
Yeah, he'd have to be there.
Martin Short,
Yep.
100% Martin Short.
Singer from the Cult. That's just a joke.
Is he
I
Canadian?
think he's from the Hammer. Well, maybe he lived in the Hammer. Maybe he's not
From the
Canadian.
Cult? Seashell Sanctuaries?
Yeah, she sells sanctuaries.
The seashore?
Yep.
I would say
Singer from Skid Row.
you can't put Don Cherry on there.
No.
Why not?
Too many
Because of the way he left.
He's old.
I would go. Yeah, I would say. What do we got? 3? What do we got? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're one more.
Oh, really? There's only 4, eh? Okay.
Because there's like, well, we should put a girl in there. What about Anne Murray?
What about Rita McNeil?
Oh, eat a big meal.
Yeah.
Is she passed away or is she still alive?
I think so. I think she passed away.
Oh yeah, my uncle was a huge fan of hers.
You said Anne Murray, right?
Anne Murray, yeah. I don't know who would be there.
Oh,
you could put
the girl from Romper Room, the host, that girl. That's a Canadian show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Canadian show.
Yeah.
My physics teacher's sister was the Romper Room girl at one point in time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's more than. I thought her name was Fran or something like
There was more than one, I think. Yeah, she would. She didn't see me very often.
that. No.
No. She saw my brother more. I guess Paul was a more common name, but that was just the kids in the room she was talking about. You know?
Romper, bumper, stomper, boom.
Tell me who. Did all my friends have fun at play? I see Derek. I see Kevin.
See robot.
I see Robot Dave. And I see you too. Right?
Yep.
That's how you end it.
Yeah, and then Mr.
Yeah.
Dress Up came on. No.
Okay, we should end our show like this. We'll do the Romper Room ending for it today.
Yeah.
And I'll do it with real people who I think are listening to the show.
All right.
And
I like.
so
this.
I'll go romper, bumper, stomper, boo. Tell me who. Did all my friends have fun at play? I see Derek. I see Kevin. I see Emil. I see Lori. I see Jen. And I see you too. And I will see you NT. See you next Thursday.
Hit it.
What a segue.